good-looking guy standing over there is a gentleman named Nate Parker, who's going to be coming up on stage with me in a second. And for me, for Brenda and I, this type of story, this film was so critical that we play a part in seeing it being told. It's daily, it's hourly, that every one of us sees or hears something, some tragic shooting that happens in the world, an act of racism, an act of prejudice, sexism, discrimination, hate. Have we learned from our history is a question that we often tell ourselves, right? The Nat Turner story, that all of you will get the privilege to see in a moment here, tells the story of a slave rebellion which stands as the most important act of resistance against slavery in American history. Yet this story has never been told properly until now. The story of Nat Turner was pretty much erased from school curriculums, from history books. Generations of children, generations of people knew nothing about the courageous acts that this man made because of his faith in his ability or his commitment to stand up and say no to injustice. What does this story have to do with me? A kid from Ontario, Canada originally. Well, the story took place over 200 years ago, but it still speaks to our time right now and what's happening in the world around us. So many people here around the world are oppressed and living through injustice. It has everything to do with me, and it has everything to do with everybody here. When I read the script for Birth of a Nation, I was impacted by it. The script was beautiful. But truly, I had absolutely no idea how I was going to help make this film. And then I met Nate Parker, and there was truly no way I wasn't making this film. Nate literally put his life on hold to get this film made. He told his agents, told his managers, told his wife. I can't imagine that conversation. I'm not working again until this film gets told. And it took almost 2 years. He has a beautiful wife and beautiful children that Brenda and I have gotten to know and call very close to us. He's a coach, he's a wrestler, coaches children, runs a foundation, runs a film school, does so much for so many. And yet he still felt he needed to stop and ensure that he made sure that this story got told. The importance of this story to the world was important to him. The Birth of a Nation was shot in 27 days last year in Savannah, Georgia, on the actual grounds which was a slave plantation. The remains, around it, the remnants, of that, the Old South and what that meant. You could feel it. The cast and crew felt it. I know Nate felt it. I felt it. The film may stir controversy, but what it will do is create conversation. And that's what's most important to me. Conversation can help with understanding. Conversation can help, hopefully, with tolerance, acceptance. That's what's needed in the world today. The effort and commitment needed to make any film is huge. It's immense. Every one of you Brawners out there know this. On every film that we're involved in, it's hard. It's not easy. The process requires trust in so many, a commitment by so many. It requires faith, and it requires a vision and a steadfast resolve. The man over there, led by his own actions, he picked up the cast and crew of this film, and his passion, picked them up and carried us on his back, truly, and got this film made. And what to me is so profoundly important is that he put history on his back, meaning he put the responsibility to tell this story, the story of Nat Turner, to reintroduce generations to a name, to a man who was removed from the history books, and he reclaimed the name, The Birth of a Nation. I'm so proud of this movie, so proud of my friendship with Nate Parker. From Brenda and I, please welcome Nate Parker, the writer, director, star of The Birth of a Nation.
thinking before Aaron starts speaking, maybe I could tell a good joke. Maybe I could get everyone to laugh. And then he started talking, and then I'm about to cry. Thank you, Aaron. I'm going to get to him in a minute. First, Jacqueline, thank you so much for accommodating us, working with the schedule, and allowing us to be here. Thank you to everyone that has played a part in putting on this wonderful festival. This year, we've worked multiple years anywhere in the last 35 years. Thank you so much. As a director of film, I understand that the people that actually get things done are the people wearing the yellow t-shirts. It's kind of like that in set, too. We have the vision, but it's everyone else's headache, if that makes any sense. So the people that put this on, I want to personally thank you guys for everything you've done to make this happen. Also, to each and every one of you. Also, to you guys who showed up. We don't often recognize the fact that these things don't work unless people come. So the fact that you're supporting this, you're supporting young filmmakers, older filmmakers, independent filmmakers, it means so much to us. One of the things that Aaron didn't mention was, while yes, I worked very hard, it doesn't happen unless a lot of people get together. Jacqueline actually gave me a quote. We were riding in the car, and it was from Albert Einstein. She says, if you want something to happen, you have to move. Something's got to move. So she was talking about how people have to move to make things happen. People have to move to create change, systemic change. People have to move to build a place like this and to make this wonderful festival a success. A bit about Aaron. Yes, I had a dream and I had a script, but I didn't have any money. So, I was passionate, yes, but I was broke. So when I met Aaron, we were, basically a lot of money had fallen out, and people were telling me the movie wasn't going to happen, which was sad for me because this is my 8th year carrying this film. And so there have been so many moments where my heart was broken because I thought something was going to happen, and then I got bad news and we realized that it wasn't going to happen. But when I met this man, all of that changed. Hopefully I can tell him this story. Just tackle me if it gets bad. I met Aaron, and it was funny because we needed, let's say, $4. It was a lot more than $4. Let's just say $4. I said, Aaron, I want to make this movie. I think it has healing properties. It can deal with injustice all over the world. We can do this. It's going to be so great. We're going to leave a legacy for our children and our children's children. Do you have $4? He says, Nate, I have $4. I said, great. And then I went back to my producers, the other producers, and they said, Nate, we need $6. I said, okay. I said, Aaron, our children's children need this movie. I need $6. He said, Nate, no problem, $6. I was like, great, we're greenlit. We're moving. So I'm going to talk to my backers. He came back. His backers. Shout out to his backers. Creative Wealth, Andy, everyone. Right. Then I went back to the producers and said, Nate, we need $8 or this movie's not going to happen. So all of that to say, I went to him, and at one point he said, Nate, there is no version of this movie not happening. Go back and let them know whatever we have to do, we'll do it because we're going to make this film. I remind you about that day all the time. I was at a breaking point. I was standing on this little ridge. I was on a run because I was trying to lose weight because I was playing an enslaved person and I wasn't supposed to be eating very well. So that's a whole other conversation. And I called him in the middle of my run. He returned my call, and he basically told me, no matter what it takes, we are going to make this movie happen. To a person that has been carrying a script around for 8 years, now it's 8 years, at that time it was like 5, 6, that was desperate for hope, that was trying to tell a story that he thought was important, that was trying to rally the troops, that was talking to Armie Hammer like, please don't leave me, we're going to figure this out. Talking to other people, and everyone's trying to be the glue and praying and praying and praying. And to have a man that is not even from America, didn't even live on that soil, could give up such a commitment to tell a story about an injury in America because he saw the value of it to the world meant everything to me. Support for a filmmaker is everything. The vision, everyone has some vision, ideas, but when people stand in the gap to make those things happen, that's how these things happen, and that's how change occurs. As Aaron was saying, we have a lot of things we need to deal with. I do believe in the saying that injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And I also believe in the quote that Nina Simone said, the artist's job is to reflect the times. But all that stuff comes together and it means nothing unless people like Jason, people like Aaron, Brenda, Andy, unless they say, you know what? Yeah, we may be putting our money in a hole and setting it on fire. But it's for a cause that is bigger than us. And that is the only reason why you're sitting here. Because without these men, there would be no film, and I'd probably still be doing this with the script. So I just want to take a moment to thank them. Thank you to Bron, everyone that had any say, who returned the email, answered the email, took out the trash, whatever you did along this journey within the walls of Bron, or in the financiers companies, or the families that were stressed or just weren't sure but took the risk. The fact that we have this movie is a testament to your belief and to your desire to see the world change for the better. So thank you guys very much. I'm very happy to be here. I love you guys, and I had this film 8 years, and I offer it to you, and I hope you enjoy it. Thank you guys so very much.